From the silence of dark caves to the shining skylines of modern cities, from simple stone tools to the wonders of artificial intelligence, humanity has walked an extraordinary path. Our story is one of struggle, survival, and imagination. Every step of this journey reveals not only how far we have come, but also reminds us of how fragile we truly are. And as the Qur'an often reminds us, travel through the land and observe how was the end of those before you. This story of civilization is not just about history, it is also about reflection. In the earliest chapters of our existence, humans lived as nomads, moving from one place to another in search of food and safety. They had no permanent homes, no kingdoms, no technology, just survival. Fire became their greatest discovery, not only a source of warmth, but a tool that changed the rhythm of life. With fire, nights became less terrifying, meals became safer, and tribes gathered around flames to tell stories and share knowledge. These early humans painted on cave walls, leaving behind symbols and images that spoke of hunts, animals, and beliefs. Those paintings were perhaps humanity's first attempt at communication beyond words, a way to tell the next generation who they were and what they valued. And here, if we pause, we see a divine lesson. Allah tells us in the Quran that He taught Adam the names of all things. From the very beginning, knowledge was a gift, a trust given to humanity. And this gift would become the foundation upon which civilizations were built. As humans learned to settle near rivers, civilizations were born. The Nile, the Tigris, the Indus, the Yellow River. These flowing waters carried not just life, but also wisdom and innovation. In Mesopotamia, people built the world's first cities and created the earliest form of writing, cuneiform. In Egypt, they raised pyramids that still stand today, silent witnesses of human ambition and engineering genius. In the Indus Valley, urban planning was so advanced that their drainage systems still inspire modern architects. In China, dynasties flourished, giving us paper, silk, and philosophies that shaped entire cultures. These civilizations remind us that human progress was never random. It was guided by the quest for stability, community, and meaning. And the Quran reminds believers to reflect upon the ruins of past nations, not to worship their greatness, but to learn from their rise and fall. Because no matter how mighty they seemed, time humbled them all. Civilizations grew into empires. The Greeks gave us philosophy, drama, and the idea of democracy. The Romans brought law, engineering, and roads that stitched continents together. China's dynasties established order, stability, and teachings of Confucius that stressed morality and responsibility. But history is not only about kings and generals. It is also about thinkers. Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle in Greece questioned truth and justice. In the East, Confucius and Laozi spoke of harmony and balance. While empires fought wars for land, philosophers fought silent wars for wisdom. This is also a reminder of an Islamic perspective. True strength does not only lie in power and armies, but in knowledge and character. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, "The ink of the scholar is more sacred than the blood of the martyr." Civilization thrives when knowledge is honored. As the Western world entered its medieval period of castles, knights, and crusades, the Islamic world entered a golden age of knowledge. From Baghdad to Cordoba, libraries and observatories flourished. Muslim scholars preserved the wisdom of Greece and Rome, translated texts, and advanced them further. Algebra was developed. Medicine advanced through pioneers like Ibn Sina, and astronomy guided explorers across seas. The Quran's first revelation began with the word, read. It was no coincidence. It was a command to seek knowledge, to learn, to reflect. This spirit of learning transformed the Islamic world into a beacon of science, philosophy, and culture at a time when much of Europe was still struggling in darkness. Trade routes like the Silk Road connected East and West, not only exchanging goods but also ideas. Paper traveled from China to the Middle East, and then to Europe. Knowledge flowed across borders like rivers, carrying light where there had been shadows. By the 15th century, Europe entered a new era, the Renaissance. It was a rebirth of art, science, and human curiosity. Thinkers like Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo reshaped creativity. The invention of the printing press allowed knowledge to spread faster than ever before. Books that were once treasures of kings became available to ordinary people. Then came the Industrial Revolution. Machines replaced hands, steam replaced horses, and factories replaced fields. Cities expanded, smoke filled the skies, and trade reached across the oceans. Humanity was advancing faster than ever, but also creating new problems. Pollution, poverty, and inequality emerged alongside invention and progress. The Qur'an warns us, do not spread corruption on the earth after it has been set in order. This was a reminder that progress without balance can destroy more than it creates. The 20th century was perhaps the fastest changing era in human history. In just 100 years, humans learned to fly, build skyscrapers, connect continents through telegraphs and telephones, split the atom, and even walk on the moon. Wars destroyed millions of lives, but at the same time, global cooperation created organizations to seek peace. Nations clashed, but cultures also connected more deeply than ever before. And then came the digital age. Computers, the internet, smartphones suddenly, the entire world was in our pockets. A child in one part of the world could speak to another across oceans in seconds. Knowledge that once required years of searching could now be found with a single click. But with this came new challenges, distractions, misinformation, and a constant flood of content. Once again, we were reminded of the Quran's wisdom. Indeed, in the remembrance of Allah do hearts find rest. Technology can give us information, but only faith gives us meaning. And now, here we are, in the dawn of the AI age. Machines are no longer just tools. They are becoming companions, assistants, and in some cases, even teachers. Artificial intelligence can diagnose diseases, drive cars, write books, and compose music. But this progress raises new questions. What does it mean to be human when machines can think? What does it mean to create, when creation is shared with algorithms? Are we moving towards a brighter tomorrow, or are we blindly running into a future we do not yet understand? Islam teaches us that knowledge is a trust from Allah. Like fire, it can warm or it can burn. AI is our fire of today. Used with wisdom, it can heal and help. Used without guidance, it can destroy. From caves to cities, from stone to silicon, from fire to fiber optics, this is the journey of human civilization. And yet, the journey is far from over. Every great empire once believed it was eternal, and yet their ruins remind us that nothing lasts except Allah. As we stand in this age of knowledge and technology, the real question is not how far we have come. The real question is, where will we go next? The Quran says, indeed, Allah will not change the condition of a people until they change what is in themselves. The future of civilization does not depend on machines or inventions. It depends on the choices we make, the values we hold, and the faith we carry. So, when the next chapter of human history is written, let it not only be remembered for what we built, but for how we lived, how we learned, and how we stayed true to the one who created us.